Hey guys, it's Christy and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're going to be talking about the very best blushes and bronzers of 2021. So before we get into it, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel before you leave. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, and let's get into it. Okay, so I was going to do blushes, bronzers, and highlights, but honestly, all of the highlights that I fell in love with were all in face palettes, and I already have a face palette ranking. So we're not even going to talk about those today. It's just going to be blushes and bronzers. So let's just jump into bronzers first. And first up is from Charlotte Tilbury, and this is the Airbrush Bronzer, and I have the shade 1 Fair. So the reason this one is coming in at the bottom, I also can't remember if this was released this year or last, but the reason this one is coming in at the bottom is because while I have the shade 1 Fair, I am very fair skinned. This should show up on me and it just really doesn't. I get the sense that, you know, I can kind of build it up and make it pretty, and I can make it show up. It's just I really got to work for it. It's just very, very light, and I feel like as a result I end up using more product than I want to, especially given that this is a very expensive bronzer. So next time I purchase this, I will be purchasing the next shade up. I am definitely curious to try another shade because I've just heard such good things, and I do like this. When I do get it built up, it does look very flawless and airbrushed. So it's just, for me, it's just a shade issue, which I feel like, to be honest, that's getting quite common with Charlotte Tilbury. So I definitely like this, but it's definitely ranking at the bottom for that reason. Okay, coming in at number 4 is a product that is actually in a stack, and I probably should have ranked it with face palettes, but I kind of got confused as to where to put it. So this is from Kaja, and this is in their Butter Up Play Bento stack. And while the blush and the highlight are nice, what really caught my attention with this one was the cream bronzer in the bottom. This is the cream bronzer that really got me interested in cream bronzers. The tone of it is just perfect. The way it blended out so easily was also perfect. It's not too pigmented, but it's got enough pigment that you don't need a ton. It just works so well with my skin tone, with my other products, so I've really been enjoying this one. I think this is probably still one of my favorite cream bronzers, so I've definitely been enjoying this one. Alright, coming in number 2 is from Patrick Ta, and this is the Cream Contour and Powder Bronzer Duo. So this one is in She Statuesque, so this is the lightest one that they have. And so we have the contour shade here, the cream contour, and the powder bronzer up here. So the contour shade is actually quite perfect for my skin tone. It does pull a little bit gray, but it's still a very nice contour, and I've really enjoyed it. The bronzer is definitely a little more warm. It definitely has a bit more of a yellowy undertone, but not so much that my skin will pull out the orange. My skin loves to warm up product. If there's any hint of yellow or orange in a product, my skin will pull it out. And I don't like to look orange. So that's how I kind of knew this was a good product, when it didn't make me look like a Cheeto. So definitely recommend this. I think this is absolutely fabulous. The only reason that this is number 2 is because the LYS No Limits Matte Bronzer is so good. So I have the shade Motivate, which is their lightest shade. And so the compact is beautiful, and the product is just gorgeous. I love the packaging. I think it's very unique, but you still get a big enough pan size that you can get your brush in there and swirl it around. This is just such a nice bronzer. It's also a really great tone for me. It is, you can overdo it with this one, but overall it's just very user-friendly, very easy to work with. This is what I have on today. I've just really been enjoying this one, and this is definitely a contender with my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, so I think that says something. Okay, let's move into blushes. And this year I feel like I tried a lot of cream blushes. I did. I'm not the biggest cream blush user, but I've definitely had some good experiences with cream blushes this year. So we have 5 blushes overall to talk about, and the first one is the e.l.f. Putty Blush. So I have the shade Bora Bora, and this is a really pretty blush. This is definitely kind of like a bright, vibrant pink. I really do like this. I think it's nice. I think it's very wearable, very easy to work with. I don't think it's the longest lasting, but I do think it's very pretty, and especially at the price point of e.l.f., I think it's pretty good. It's just not as good and as long lasting as some of the others, but overall I do think this is a really great product. Coming in number 4 is actually a duo, and this is from Natasha Denona, and this is their Love Cheek Duo. So this is another one that could have potentially fit into my face palette ranking video, but while I like the highlight in this one, what really got me was the blush. I really like her cream blush formula. I just think her cream blush formula is so pigmented. It lasts a long time on the skin. It just really sticks around. It blends out. It gives such a natural looking flush to the skin while also providing enough pigment to just look so beautiful. I have loved this cream blush, and the packaging is second to none. Honestly, this just makes my heart happy. Coming at number 3 is from Milani, and this is their Cheek Kiss Cream Blush, and I have the shade Nude Kiss. So these were released, I think, pretty early this year. So from Milani, they're about $10 at the drugstore. I just wanted a blush that would kind of go with everything. And this does that. You can definitely use this to create like a no makeup kind of look, just very kind of light and fresh. But this can also be super pigmented. This is a really great drugstore formula for the drugstore, and for a cream product, this is a really great product, so I would highly recommend this. A blush from the drugstore that is somehow even better than that is from NYX, and this is the Sweet Cheeks Soft Cheek Tint. So I really did try to only talk about products that came out this year, and this one I can't remember. I also really love the Flower Beauty blush bombs, but I do not think those are new, so that's why I didn't mention it in this video. Pretty sure these are new this year. But I have the shade Baby Doll, and these are so good. This is very pigmented. It's got kind of like it looks like a lip gloss applicator, but it's really just kind of like a moussey texture, so it blends really easily on the skin. It looks very, very beautiful. It's easy to blend out. You don't need to be intimidated by it, especially if you're new to cream and liquid blushes. This one is very user-friendly. Just know it's very pigmented, so go very sparingly, just a dot or two, blend it out, and then add more if you like. But overall, I think this is very beautiful and very easy to use. My very favorite blush of the year is not going to be a surprise to anybody who has watched my channel, but this is from Pat McGrath, and this is her Divine Blush in the shade Flirtatious. So I do have Flirtatious. I also have one of her face palettes that has 2 other blush shades, and they're right up there with this. But overall, I'm counting this as the formula being what I love. The formula is so beautiful and blendable and just easy to work with, and it gives such a pretty look to the cheeks. I still think the price is expensive for what it is. It's a powder blush. Is it so phenomenal to every other powder blush out there? Maybe not. Probably not. But what I have to say about this is, given how beautiful all of her shades are, she made me fall in love with peachy tone blushes with her Desert Orchid shade. That's a really hard thing for me to do. I've always been somebody who favors pinks. Desert Orchid, though, made me step out of that. This is really nice, and I also have to say the embossment on these, this super beautiful rose embossment, I have used this blush so many times. So many times, and that embossment is still going strong. So I really love to see that as well. Just, you know, when you spend this much money on a product, you're obviously paying for the packaging. You know, that embossment is in that price too. So I really like to see that it's something that is very long lasting. Those are my favorite blushes and bronzers of 2021. I think it was a really great year for blushes and bronzers, but that is it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it so very much. If you're new to my channel, I hope you'll consider subscribing before you go. I do upload at least 3 new videos every single week, and that is it for me today. Thank you again so very much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!